it take for you to consider closing the schools?
It's going to be a day-by-day examination of all the facts. I think a very sobering fact is hundreds of thousands of teenagers without adult supervision. I think that's not just about health. It is. It's about all the other impact that has on their life. It is about the impact on safety. We just have to look at the whole picture.
That was New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio insisting on keeping the nation's largest school district open, despite surging coronavirus outbreaks.
Teachers fighting back, calling for a mass walkout this week with tweets like this one. Teachers will do our part by doing a sick out. After all, we need to avoid large crowds, Mr. Mayor.
Here to weigh in on this, New York State GOP Assemblywoman Nicole Malliotakis. Nicole, welcome to the program. Good to see you.
Good morning.
Are you in favor of closing New York City schools?
I think it's very important. Look, if we're shutting down Broadway, we are telling people in crowds of 500 or more that their events have to be canceled. We're ending, stadiums and gatherings. I think it's very important that we also close down the schools temporarily for 1 week. Let us get an assessment of what exactly is going on. In my district, we just had 2 students that were tested positive for coronavirus, and the mayor wants to reopen the schools tomorrow. And parents rightfully are concerned, as are teachers.
Well, what do you make of the mayor's argument? Look, you're going to put a lot of youngsters on the streets because they're going to go somewhere. They'll go out on the streets, and that could be a serious problem.
Well, they should be staying home. That's the whole idea of this, is that they are supposed to be staying home. But we do have to have a plan for child care for those who are the children of first responders, of healthcare workers. I believe the model being used in Los Angeles is reasonable. We should be looking to perhaps mimic that, or provide some form of child care, working with our hospitals to ensure that their children have the child care services that they need. This is something that can be addressed, but we need the mayor to work with all of us. Look, there's been a call by bipartisanship, by the way, in this effort to close the schools. It's been Republicans and Democrats. Community I represent, Staten Island, every elected official has called for the schools to be temporarily closed, as are the Catholic schools this upcoming week.
So are we going to see a showdown? If the mayor doesn't budge by Wednesday, are teachers going to be walking out and schools kind of closed? I mean, where could this go?
Look, the UFT, the union that represents the teachers, is really going to war right now with the mayor over this issue. Teachers have their own families. They have elderly parents they're caring for, too. Children who are going home back to perhaps their grandparents, they're carrying this virus. And we are, not only does he not want to close schools, he doesn't want to close the senior centers, which I think is the wrong approach. I've been in touch with Meals on Wheels and organizations that can provide those services, home delivery, and we should be looking at those alternatives.
I used to be a teacher, and I have to say it would concern me, because what's being talked about a lot is that kids don't necessarily get sick from this oftentimes, but they could be carrying it. These teachers are going to be concerned to go into these classrooms where you're sitting in a room sometimes with 30 or 40 kids. You have to manage that all day long, extensive periods of time. So he's going to have to handle this. Even though this is, I understand it's last minute, they're going to have to figure out some sort of situation and what to do with these kids. He's going to have to understand these teachers' concerns.
Yeah, and we could be doing the community centers and allowing children to go there, and they take their temperature prior to arrival to ensure that they're not showing any symptoms.
Right.
You'll simply slow down the economy of New York drastically if you do this.
Well, I think look, this is about public health, right? We don't want to slow down the economy. But if more people get sick and this expands, it's going to be much worse for the economy in the long run. I think we need to be proactive right now for the next week and take it a week-by-week approach.
Understood.
Nicole, thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.